Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to another interesting edition of the ET Panache online webinars. And this Thursday, I have someone very interesting, and he's going to talk about a topic, and you can ask your questions about something that has been in the news as part of the novel coronavirus syndrome that's attacked the entire world. And there are going to be interesting home remedies that he's going to talk about. But before I go to that, setting the context, as most of you are aware that India may soon start trials of treatment protocols for coronavirus patients using the Ayurveda medicines. And many states, in fact, already, including Goa, Kerala, and Haryana, have been using Ayurveda medicines to treat patients and their frontline workers. The Ayush Ministry, on the other hand, has received more than 2,000 proposals from various Ayurveda practitioners and workers on how to create solutions and deal with the novel coronavirus syndrome. The Prime Minister, too, in fact, in all his messages to the country through Mann Ki Baat and through other special message broadcasts that he's done, he has also emphasized on the use of Ayurveda remedies to build immunity, to boost one's natural strength and resilience. And we have seen that there is a lot of chatter, there is a lot of conversation online happening. People are searching for Ayurveda medicines. People are searching for how to boost their immunity using remedies at home. And who better than Dr. Usha Kiran, Ayurveda doctor and manager at the Oberoi Sukhvilas property. He is going to talk to us about the efficacy of Ayurvedic medicines, and he's going to answer questions which we've received. Plenty of questions have come into us, and Doctor, we are going to bombard you with as many questions as we can. Dr. Usha Kiran has close to 2 decades of experience, and he's a Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery from the Rajiv Gandhi University. He hails from Kerala, but has grown up in Karnataka, and comes from a family of agriculturalists. And he himself is, as he says, that he is very interested in this science and wants to do his own bit. Dr. Usha Kiran, welcome to this Thursday session. Thank you for taking time off to do this, and I hope you are keeping safe and sound, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Lopa, for inviting me. It's an honor to be part of this webinar. To all the viewers, be safe, follow all government guidelines,
Right.
along with the Ayush guidelines as well. Take care of your family. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu.
Sarve Janaha Sukhino. Dr. Usha Kiran, before I begin the session, why don't you just tell us a little bit about, how you managed to, what drew you to Ayurveda in the first place, and the way you've been pursuing your career, the way you've shaped your career in this field. If you could just tell us and our viewers a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, first of all, I am thankful that I am coming from God's own country, Kerala, which is a hub of Ayurveda and a lot of medicines. Coming from there, a lot of home remedies we had seen from parents, grandparents, adding to the agriculture family where coming from a very rural area. So these all, made to very near to the nature. So I took Ayurveda and yoga as a career. I started the career with the hospital chain called Shantigiri, worked there for around 9-10 years, which is a strong base for my knowledge, and then moved to the hospitality field where I can get exposed to people of different culture, different region, and uh, it serves as the basic thing of Ayurveda. Prevention is better than cure. So it made me to learn, apart from Ayurveda, so many other wellness related aspects like the health club, different therapies, Western therapies as well.
Okay, so different aspects, Western therapies, Indian therapies. So how do you see the present form of Ayurveda in the country? Like, uh, what should come to mind when one thinks of Ayurveda?
See, first of all, I say that it's our own age-old system of medicine where
Mhm.
it has taught us so many things. Uh, some of the places we failed to understand it, uh,
Mm.
maybe because it is explained in Sanskrit, or how we are understanding it, we are lacking our knowledge in that. Other than that, most of the things, the routines, medicines, everything has been already mentioned in our ancient text by experts like Charaka, Vagbhata, Sushruta. So the positive side of anything is like slowly we are going back to nature and we are going back to our own system of medicines.
Right. So we're going back to nature and we are going back to our own system of medicines. And I think this particular period of lockdown, the lockdown one and then lockdown 2.0, and now probably if there is an extension, then in that, a lot of people have realized that going back to traditional ways, nurturing their self, nurturing themselves without too much of external influence due to lack of availability or accessibility. So a lot of people are wanting to discover and wanting to explore that side, that facet of our existence. And before taking any further time, I will move on to our questions. Our first question is from Bhavik Shah, and he wants to know what are the best ways to boost immunity? Is it just exercise or eating herbs like ginger or turmeric? And I think we've got a lot of this kind of question. That a lot of people have asked us ginger, turmeric, or exercise.
Yeah, ginger, turmeric have got a lot of publicity now.
Yes, yes.
See, I would say in this way that there is a saying that if you don't have a weapon to kill your enemy, it's better to have a strong shield to protect yourself. Uh, at the present situation, we didn't find a weapon to fight, or we are trying our best, or the whole world, whole system of medicine, trying all possible way to find out a solution for this, whether it is allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, or whatever system of medicine. We should respect that people's hard work, everything. Along with that, I would say that it's a combination of uh, single drug or the home remedies along with exercise. This is the routine. What we have to set is the routine which has been told in Ayurvedic texts like Dinacharya and like Rutucharya. Dinacharya is the routine which you have to follow from sunrise to sunset. So
Mhm.
if you don't mind, I would like to explain this Dinacharya because
Sure, sure. Please go ahead.
Ayurveda has given a lot of importance to this.
Hmm.
It has been told when we should get up and what we have to do, and what till what extent or till what strength we have to do the exercise. The first thing what we feel is I am doing 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours exercise, so I am fit, or I am having this type of food, that type of food, I am fit. So
Mhm.
not only these two things, it has been told in our text that you should get up in the Brahme Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is the two muhurtas. Uh, it is 96 minutes before sunrise. So roughly, if you are keeping 6:30, 6:45, around 5:30, you should get up. There is a concept behind this. See, the entire day, 24 hours, is divided between the three biostatic energies. That is Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Mhm.
I think most of us heard about at least Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Whenever Ayurveda, we say Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So this
Yes.
24 hours is divided between these three. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. From 2 to 6, that is the Vata time, either AM or PM. Between 2 to 6 is Vata time, 6 to 10 is the Kapha time, and 10 to 2 is the Pitta time. So Vata is Vata, the main feature of Vata is the movement. The Pitta main feature is the metabolism, and Kapha is the binding force, or which gives the shape. Vata time, when you are getting up in Vata time, that is before 6. So you're getting up in a movement time. So you will be fresh. So you can do an experiment getting up at around 5:30 and getting up at around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. You can feel the difference in your body. You will be lethargic if you are getting up late, and you will be feeling fresh when you are getting up. As soon as you get up, there is a concept of aura cleaning. So you see it at your hand, then you chant like Karagre Vasati Lakshmi, Karamadhya Saraswati, Karamule to Govinda, Prabhate Kardarshanam. You are looking at your hand, keeping it on your eyes, then chin, then chest, and then to your waist. This is the simple way of aura cleaning. After this, you are brushing your teeth, uh, like do the cleaning, and if at all you have any natural urges, you fulfill that. After it is told that you will be uh, doing the oil pulling. I'll keep it in a simple way. Oil pulling, that is a term used is Kavala and Gandusha. Oil pulling, you can keep 1 or 2 teaspoon of sesame oil or coconut oil. Then you can swish it in your mouth very vigorously, then spit it out. Then you can fill your stomach, sorry, you can fill your mouth with the lukewarm water, salted lukewarm water. Then keep
And
it
how much? And how
time.
much of oil should one take, doctor? If I may just interject you.
1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon.
One.
So you're starting with that. Then there is a, when you are swishing it, then the saliva mixes it with the oil. So you can keep it maximum for 5 minutes till the time you feel pain. As soon as you are feeling the pain, you should spit it out. That is what is Ayurveda telling about the uh, Kavala and Gandusha. So after that, you should drink warm water. So then you can do the exercise. So exercise, it as per Ayurveda, it has to be done till the half the strength. Like if you can do 1 hour, 1 hour is your complete strength. You can do it till half an hour. And there is a method to know it. Ayurveda says that till the time you get the first droplets of sweat on your forehead. So that
Then
is
you can
the time. Yes. Then you can no, before exercise you can apply a little bit of til oil, coconut oil, or as per the region, like place you are living. Like South Indians use most of coconut oil, North Indians use til oil. Then after that you can do the exercise, then take lukewarm water bath. After bath you can come and meditate as well. You can do the pranayama, simple breathing exercise. Simple breathing exercise, take a deep breath, count like you're taking inhalation 1 2 3 4, and say 1 2 3 4 exhaling. This is a simple way of pranayama that can be done. Then you can meditate for few seconds. So this is the uh, routine you have to follow as per Ayurveda. And of course, during this time we have increasing lot of screen time, 7 to 8 hours night per
Yes,
yes,
if not
hours.
more.
Yeah, sleep per night it is, but uh, we we are awake till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, which is the Vata time. Which at that time you should be awake, but we are going to sleep at that time. So these things makes a problem in your body. So that reduces your body resistance power. 50-50, you have to do both medications as well as home remedies, exercise.
Okay. Home remedies exercise. Okay. We have our next question comes from Som Karamchetty. He's a self-employed gentleman, and he's a tech consultant, in fact. And he writes that as chadanam, which is rice soaked in water to ferment, is said
Mhm.
to enhance immunity, will it be recommended as the first meal of the day to fight continually emerging viruses?
I think this is the food in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, I believe. Yeah, in Kerala we say the padankanji or padachoru. Like yesterday's kanji preparation, you mix it with the uh, curd or in onion,
Water.
yeah, water.
That's
So
the leftover rice and the.
if you if you if you see actually the food which is previous day's food, Ayurveda says you should not take on the next day. The food should be freshly cooked. This is been told in Ayurveda, but different places. See, this is good in summers, the
Mhm.
Paranganji or the Andhra style. This is good in summers because it's cooling in nature, and this is rich of vitamin B12 as well.
Mhm.
So I prefer, if you at all you are taking it, take it in the morning as a like breakfast time.
Okay, breakfast time. And but what he wants to know, yes, where be recommended as the first meal of the day. So you recommend that it can be taken as for breakfast to
Yes,
fight emerging viruses. Does it helps build immunity? I'm guessing. Yes.
yes.
Uh,
And depending on the seasons also, because it's cooling in nature. So
hmm.
at this current season, that is hot summer, you can use it, not in the winters or the maybe in the rainy or late rainy season.
Okay. So then, what would you recommend to replace in winter as the first
Any,
meal of the day?
any, anything that is warm, hot in nature, freshly cooked.
Anything that is warm, hot in nature, freshly cooked. So, but you know, for city bred people like us, we stay in the city, and what is happening now is like not all of us want to cook every day, every meal, fresh meal, and most of us then end up consuming food which is being cooked, say 2 days, 3 days prior to the time of consumption. Uh, how do you think, like, does that I mean, of course, that how much of an impact does that have on body strength, body immunity? If you could just tell us too. Also, a lot of food is refrigerated and processed food that we use.
See, all the refrigerated or the food which is kept for many days, Ayurveda says that talks about not talks about nutrition. Ayurveda talks about the prana in the food. So when
Mhm.
you are keeping the food for a long time, you cannot freeze the prana. So
Mhm.
the food which has been kept for 1 or 2 or 3 days, definitely it will be not good for the body. And the present situation is teaches you because you are getting very minimal things, and you can freshly cook it, have it warm. That is the way to improve the immunity.
That is a way to improve the immunity. Another thing where Ayurveda, you know, the role of Ayurveda has come up much in conversation is in the treatment of diabetes. So,
Mhm.
a lot of people, because diabetes, the reliance on drugs, the reliance on insulin, and people who have been battling diabetes for a while are chronic diabetics. So, for them, many of them, after a point of going through allopathic treatment, they then have turned to Ayurveda, and some have said that they've benefited, and some have are still undergoing that. How do you see, Dr. Usha Kiran? How do you see the role of Ayurveda in being able to treat something like something as chronic as say diabetes?
See, there are a lot of medications mentioned in Ayurveda. There is a chapter about Madhumeha. Uh, while saying this, I would suggest those who are asking questions, please consult your doctor. It is not a battle between Ayurveda, allopathy, or homeopathy. So it's battle between the health issue and your well-being. So a lot of things we can do to improve the uh, general health of the body. Diabetes, any diseases in Ayurveda which is classified, like Sukha Sadhya, that is easily treatable, or Krichra Sadhya or Asadhya, because which is manageable or which cannot be treatable. So I will say that every doctor should be aware what he can do or what he cannot, he is not able to do. And certain extents, few medicines are acting like wonderful in diabetes. uh, Ayurveda says diabetes as a system, the imbalance, not only the sugar level. So you are taking checking the sugar level, then you are taking a medicine, the sugar level comes down. It is not only that, there is a huge mechanism getting disturbed, like pitta or vata or kapha, whatever the dosha balance is coming down. Ayurveda treats that. So if you ask me any symptomatic treatment, I would say that Ayurveda doesn't have any symptomatic treatment. Ayurveda has anything is to do with the uh, body as a whole.
Body as a whole. We just have just now some Satish Sharma. He's just written into us while we talking on while you've been answering questions on diabetes. He's asking, is there any permanent cure for type 2 diabetes in Ayurveda?
Uh, if you ask me something like that, I will not be say yes also no also in this forum. That is why I said you, so many factors has to be examined by the doctor, uh, like desha kala, uh, as I told, whether it is easily curable or it is difficult to treat or it is not treatable. Those things should be analyzed before saying any particular answers. The
No,
best thing is
but doctor, a lot of research is going on with
definitely yes, yes, yes.
yes. So maybe I think he's more curious to know that at a point in the future, if a cure for type 2 diabetes will emerge out of Ayurvedic
we
trials, I
will
think.
we will hope for that, and anything comes out, it will be very great achievement and a very big boost for the Ayurveda.
Big boost for Ayurveda. Okay. So we have a retired gentleman, Sunil Mogre. He says that he's around 65 years old and having hereditary diabetes and high blood pressure. It's under control now with allopathic tablets, but there are no physical activities at the moment that's happening, and I'm stuck at home. So kindly advise how to improve the immune system.
uh, Sir, if you ask me, the bala factor, the strength, Ayurveda says comparatively less in children and the people above the age of 50 comparatively, or 60. So even though you are stuck at home, yes, of course, all of us are stuck at home. There are a lot of floral exercises what we can do. There are a lot of yoga asanas like Surya Namaskara to simple asanas we can do, and you can practice the pranayama or you can practice the meditation. Pranayama increases your vital capacity. So if you ask me, you can do the pranayama in the morning. That is a Brahma Muhurta what I have mentioned. The research has established that the oxygen is very rich at this point. It's around 41%. So it's the best time to do a lot of exercises. And with regards to food, again you can have freshly cooked food. Methi, you can have soak in the night. Like, you should not boil it. There is a preparation called Fanta preparation, not the Fanta what you get in the market. The Fanta preparation is you have to boil water. Take 1 glass of water, hot water. Put 1 teaspoon of methi. Keep it covered. Next day morning, early morning, you can take it.
Methi
So
leaves, right?
methi seeds,
That's methi
seeds.
seeds.
Yeah,
Seeds.
yeah. These things can be done at home, even though you are in lockdown, or lot of things can do.
Okay. We have Hiran Fernando. He's a retired employee, and he's asking. He wants to confirm if warm coriander water with turmeric, black pepper, and bees honey, does this enhance one's immunity, and is this a good buffer against COVID-19?
All these home items, like, these are readily available in kitchen. Like, if you ask me, ginger, turmeric, pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, uh, fenugreek, coriander, cumin, ghee, honey, and suppose somebody may be having a tulsi plant. See,
Hmm.
all these or at least 5, 6, 7 may be available at home. Coriander is cooling in nature, so you can have it in the summer. If you are in the winters or after rainy season, so you can replace it with the cumin. So we in Sukulas give a health herbal drink to the our wellness guest whenever they arrive. We give the cumin water in the monsoon and the winters, and coriander water in the summers.
So
So
it
these
it
things,
helps cool the body.
yeah, in the summers, and cumin is, it gives a little bit of warmness to the body.
Hmm.
So definitely these ingredients will help you, because most, like the turmeric, which is very rich of antioxidants. Everybody knows antioxidants are immunity booster. Many of them are having antiseptic, antimicrobial actions. So you can
Hmm.
prepare a kada or a decoction out of that. Then maybe have it twice a day. Only thing is, you don't heat or boil the honey. Whatever decoctions you are preparing, first prepare it. Then at the end, while you are consuming, add honey and lemon. If you are adding lemon and honey, please don't boil it, because it loses its quality, and it is mentioned under Viruddha Ahara. It's unwholesome food in Ayurveda.
Okay. So your question on methi seeds, so your answers on, in fact, your answers and your insights on methi seeds have got two more responses to that. So you'll have to this answer there. Vinay Gupta wants to know that you mentioned about methi seed water for drinking, but is it fine even in hot weather?
You can reduce the dose even till 1 teaspoon, no problem, but don't increase the, like, 2 or 3 teaspoons.
Okay. And Justin Michael wants to know that there are claims that spotted methi has natural insulin effect. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Usha Kiran?
Yeah, it's anything sprouted is good to the body.
Hmm.
You can
Anything?
have the methi. You can drink the water if you can able to enjoy or love the bitterness of methi. Definitely, you can have the seeds also. Or when, if you are preparing dosa or any food, you can add those methi in that. Methi dosa is very good.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that. Methi dosa. Okay, fine. Uh, Pratik Kala wants to know what is black tulsi and how does it help in building immunity?
See, Tulsi, holy vessel, we having, whenever if there is any insect bite in our childhood, the first thing is, like, take the Tulsi, 2, 3 seeds, you put it on the make a paste, apply it. See, antimicrobial and even antipyretic, good for suppose the throat or throat infection or cough. Tulsi juice with the honey. So it's many ways it's useful for the body.
Many ways it's useful for the body. So from tulsi, now we come to another tea, which is turmeric. So there's been a lot of talk about turmeric and
Yes,
turmeric in your
turmeric
kitchen. Use it. Yes.
is the
So
star of all medicine.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, and before you explain the rise of turmeric, and even the West is now looking at turmeric in a new light, and those the our quintessential haldi doodh has become their turmeric cafe latte and whatnot. Dr.
Golden.
Girish Kumar, yes, and
Yeah.
Dr. Girish Kumar wants to know how turmeric will benefit the tandem of COVID-19, and he says that there are many studies done by CCMB, IIT Bombay, and ICMR in Kolkata. And what is your recommendation? And what is your recommendation to use? And at what level would you recommend turmeric as an antidote?
Yeah. Turmeric, it's a precious, it's a golden color. We by the color only we can say that yellowish or whatever, it's a precious. And uh, see, before commenting anything on treatment for COVID, it may be wrong if I say something treatment for that, but definitely uh, it's a very, very good, the single drug to improve our body immunity. It has antioxidants, um, antiseptic. antipyretic action. Not only the golden milk, simple turmeric, you can take it with the milk. Even for the kids, you can give it. It reduces, kids, if they have the milk, then they may get little bit of mucus issues. To reduce that, you can take milk with the turmeric. Turmeric, you can slightly, roast it in the 1 teaspoon of ghee, then mix it with the milk and take. Turmeric with jaggery and milk you can take any one time of the day. Or if you are liking the current golden milk, adding with the
Gold.
ginger, yeah. So that is also good. Turmeric in many ways. See, most of our Indian food, like which has been, the from ancient time, we used to put ghee on our hot food before starting. Uh, Before having food, we used to start with the, uh, traditional Indian system is sweet is first, correct?
Mm.
Traditional Indian system. It is not the dessert and sweet. Starter and dessert is both is sweet. So when you see the thali, if you come to South India, the starting they put payasam little bit. Then you are having,
Yes.
you take little bit of payasam sweet. Then you are
Mm.
balancing
With
the
spice.
pitta, because that with digestive fire you are calming down. Then you are having the food. So many of our Indian preparations, haldi is very commonly used. So
Mm.
definitely it is good for all age group and everyone.
You mentioned haldi and then you also mentioned milk. We have Suman Sibal who wants to know what is the right time to drink milk in, is it in the day, and whether one should have hot or cold milk, which even I have a question I also want to know. And is cold water not good for health at all, or should one drink only warm water when one is having water?
Okay, two, three questions.
Yeah. So just take
Make. Okay.
one. Yes.
In this, if you ask me, I'll come to hot and cold food. See, cold food, anything that you take cold, the digestive fire, which we are correlating to the pitta.
Mm.
So you are taking a cold food. First the pitta take an effort to bring that coldness to normal. Then it digests.
Mm.
So lukewarm. That is why it is told freshly cooked lukewarm food, which is very easy to digest. So that is one factor.
Right.
So you're taking cold food, then it will hamper your digestive power. That is the reason cold foods should not be taken too much. And the second question is, I think, uh,
When to have milk, in the day or at night, and whether
any,
yeah, so you've answered the
any
hot or cold.
anytime. If you're taking in the night, it will definitely improve your sleep because milk is having the quality of, the cooling quality. It improves your sleep. Hot milk
Mm.
and little bit of ghee or little bit of turmeric in the night. Cold water and the hot water, it is always told that water should be heated because normal water takes around 6 hours to get absorbed in the body. And if it is the hot and cold water, like lukewarm water, cold water takes around 3 hours to get dissolved in the body. If it is the herbalized water, so if you are putting a little bit of dhania, that is the coriander, or a little bit of ginger, you boil the water, then that takes only 1.5 hours to absorb in the body. So that makes, like, it's better to put a little bit of these household items and boil the water.
Mm.
And if you know your body constitution, vata, pitta, kapha, so
Mm.
definitely you can consult your doctor because it's a huge topic to cover here. So if
Yes.
you are a vata dominant person, you can take lukewarm water. If you are a pitta dominant person, you can take boiled and cooled water. And if you are a kapha dominant person, you can take hot water, sip by sip.
Vata, Pitta, and okay.
Kapha.
Dr. Gitanjali Shukla, she says that she wants to follow a normal sleep pattern but is not able to My sleep time goes to 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. Earlier it was 12 a.m. and my waking up time has been changed to 12:30 p.m. Earlier I used to wake up by 8:30 p.m. How do I manage to get my sleep pattern to normal cycle? Any home remedies that you could recommend so that I can get my sleep back in order?
Uh, you can try putting 2 drops of ghee below your feet, and give a gentle rub, maybe 10-15 minutes before sleep. Also, this commonly available, like our traditional classical preparation called Kshirabala. So 2 drops you can keep it on your forehead. It is one hand breath from your the tip of the nose like this. So you
Hmm.
can keep two drops at least 15 minutes before sleep. These two simple things may help, or this milk factor may be helpful. If at all you are in a tension, definitely people will be having tensions. But if you are under stress, then it's better to practice some of the meditation, pranayama. The Brahmari pranayama will help you to get good sleep. You can note down, maybe can consult one of the yoga teacher and practice it properly. The Brahmari pranayama, the eighth pranayama, will help you in getting good sleep.
Okay. Uh, Doctor, we have Harsha Ladha, and this person's problem is, he says, I have a problem of sneezing in the morning. I'm unable to figure out the reason, and the sneezing gets uncontrollable sometimes. Is there any is there any Ayurvedic remedy or anything that I can use from the kitchen cabinet to control this uncontrollable sneezing, as the person calls it?
Turmeric may be a very good very good thing for him. Turmeric with jaggery and milk at night will help you. You can try this. I have tried this with my patients. You can try this. And sneezing, I think he may be having a mucus or the sinus issues, where definitely when you are changing the posture from sleeping to getting up, body will try to expel it out. So the immunity improvement is only the factor. The one half teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of jaggery, and in a hot 1 cup of hot milk in the night. uh, I think this should help you.
In the night, this should help. Okay. We have Aditya Chaurasia, who's just written to us 3 minutes ago, and he wants to know, you mentioned about hot water, having warm water in the morning. In the early morning, should we also drink lemon water warm? Is that advisable? Is what he wants to know.
Yeah, lukewarm. You can take it lukewarm.
But lemon is fine, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Aditya, then
Not
your question has been answered.
not
Yes,
not
please go ahead.
not too much. Maybe if you are taking 100 or 200 ml of water, half lemon. Like people, if we say good, then next day people start to use a lot of lemon. Please don't do that. Then it will affect your the pitta level.
We have Kiran R. She writes in that I'm 40 years old, and can you please suggest some good remedies for people with respiratory or lung issue history?
Medicine, single drug, home remedy wise, you can take little ginger is good, or the kada prepared with tulsi and ginger. See, a simple method to thumb rule to follow the or prepare the kada is 4 glass of water, reduce it to 1 glass, and divide into 2 doses, morning and evening. So preferably before food. And she can try a lot of breathing exercise. It's like how we are training your body. Similarly, when you are doing this pranayama and breathing exercise, you are training your lungs, so then the vital capacity will improve. The filling capacity in the lungs will improve. So these two factors will definitely help her in that.
Uh, there is Vasigala Babu Venkata Ramesh. He wants to know how CAPA patients can take care of themselves in this pandemic, as they are frequently affected by cold and throat congestion.
uh, Throat congestion, see, if you are taking the decoctions of tulsi, ginger, maybe a pinch of cinnamon or cardamom. Then you can take the steam with the tulsi leaves. This is also good. You can cover it and take the steam. And frequently drinking hot water, sip by sip, will definitely help.
Sip by sip of hot water. Okay.
Yes.
Aditya R wants to know anything that can be done to reduce or stop snoring. I think that's a lot of problem that's faced by a lot of men these days. There are complaints of snoring.
So if your body weight increases, definitely you start snoring, or you can try the Nasyam. You can consult your doctor. Nasyam may be the treatment, like putting the drops in the ears, sorry, nose, nostrils. That can be tried. It's one among the dinacharya. This will help. If at all it is not coming down, then definitely can consult your doctor.
Consult your doctor. Anand Goel writes that he feels very bloated after meals. And is there a particular reason, or is there something that can be done in the home way so that he doesn't feel like that?
So Ayurveda says that when we have food, we should have only 75% of our capacity. 25% we should leave space for the vata.
Hmm.
I feel with the symptoms, it's maybe cases of pitta, that's acidity. Early morning, it may look little weird, like before brushing your teeth, if you able to drink 1 or 2 glasses of water. So this will brings down our pitta, uh, dramatically. So other than that, there are very good medicines again, which has to be taken before food. Home remedies, you can jeera, you can roast the jeera and boil it, and then take it, consume it throughout the day. So jeera, if you directly put and boil it, it may increase the vata. So you can little bit of roast it and boil it. This water will help you.
This water will help.
Yes.
We also, I think there was Anand Goel who wants to know now that Dr. Usha Kiran mentioned about applying oil to the feet. So he wants to know which oil to apply on the feet.
Feet. I was mentioning about the ghee. Ghee
Ghee.
normal, yeah, homemade ghee, 2 drops in both the feet.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when you are applying on the if at all you are applying on your this is the Brahmarandra, on your vertex, so that you have to wipe it out maybe after 15 minutes.
What is the best antibiotic in your opinion for this virus infection? Sachin Gadekar wants to know. The question is just coming.
For the COVID, if you ask me, if at all there is any antibiotic, definitely.
But I'm guessing he wants to know how to build immunity and stay fine.
Immunity, this whatever we have been discussing last past half an hour, our daily regimen, our seasonal regimen, like if you now we are in Grishma Rutu, that is summer. Coming is the Varsha Rutu, like rainy season, like Rutucharya, which has been told in Ayurveda. So if we are following it, like now the food we should be cooling, and when the uh, rainy season starts, then our vata gets aggravated. So food which are reducing the vata, if you are following it up, then definitely we can improve our immunity.
Okay.
We can better body resistance power.
Pallavi Garimella wants to know, can you share a few ingredients or any such mix for increasing immunity in children? Is there anything different? Is there anything that can be given to children to boost their strength? Because they are at home, they are not allowed to go out much, so a lot of their energies have to be channeled well. And what can be done to enhance their immunity in such a time?
Children, see, there is a Rasayana treatment. Even Ayush has recommended us to take the Chavanprasha, which is very, commonly used.
Hmm.
Chavanprasha comes under Rasayana treatment.
Hmm.
So that definitely improve. As I was mentioning, the haldi powder or the turmeric powder with milk. So you may have to add 1 or 2 pinches of turmeric powder, not too much. So then that bitterness will be there. The children may not be able to uh, take it, or it may be heat in their body, cause heat to their body. So 2 pinches of turmeric along with the cup of milk, and Chyawanprash will be good.
Uh, 2 pinches of turmeric. So turmeric is an essential favorite, I'm guessing, and turmeric is like almost the king of the Ayurveda kitchen cabinet. Doctor, what else? What other spices or what other ingredients that are already existing in our kitchens do you think that can help? The consumption of which can help in building strength, building immunity, keeping ourselves fine. If you could just
Yeah,
list.
ginger, definitely ginger will help you. Black pepper will help us. Uh, Honey, definitely if it is a good quality honey, and homemade ghee, coriander, cumin, fenugreek. Uh, if you are getting tulsi, it's well and good. So these things are, most of the things are available in the kitchen. Rock salt, saindav lavan, that is also good.
We've got some questions and it's similar. There are a couple of them, like 3 or 4 people want to know if there's any Ayurvedic treatment for now that the body is not being, there's not much activity that is happening and it's mostly homebound, so the bowel movements is a bit problematic. So what would you recommend for constipation and irregular bowel movements?
As a home remedy,
Yes.
uh, lukewarm water or the plain homemade ghee with milk will help you. That you can take it in the night.
Hmm.
Plain ghee with the hot milk. This will help.
How, how much of ghee would you recommend for the dosage?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
Yeah.
Is Balakaran Siva Subramanian wants to know, does our body get any benefit to improve? Does our body get any benefit to improve our immunity from sunlight? If yes, what is the best time to get that? Is it in the morning rays or is it the evening rays? He wants to know. He's just sent
Yeah.
this question.
Everything under the sun gets energy from him only. So morning sun rays or evening sun rays, both are good. Vitamin D. If you ask me, preferably if you get a chance to get up in the early morning. So dual benefits you will be having, like oxygen rich time, so you can breathe a lot of oxygen at that time. Uh, Balconies, if you can come and sit, sip your tea. If it is herbal tea, well and good. You can have a quality time with your family.
Hmm.
It is not talking or something. You can sit and enjoy your tea. Same time, you can get exposed to the sun also, without disturbing the government restrictions. If you can manage it on the terraces, if you have facility for that, you can do your exercises, uh, getting exposed to the sunlight. So
Okay. Uh,
100% there is a benefit from getting exposed to sunlight.
there is, of course, there is much benefit in the sunlight. Now that the season is changing in across the country, there is a tendency, and in many cities and places, the AC has already come into use. And Manisha Kabra and Pratik Kala, they both want to know that very frequently, we experience infection in the throat with the change in temperature and using the onset of AC weather. Any remedy in Ayurveda for the same, so that the dry cough or the niggling throat congestion that happens, if that can be controlled apart from warm water?
Yeah, see, most of the for the whether it is seasonal related or maybe the food habit related, simple remedies for the dryness in the throat or feverishness or cold, we have mentioned so many times, we have mentioned it. So it's
Hmm.
better to follow a proper daily routine. So seasonal changes, season change, everything is there. It is not only happening now. So every time the season, every 2 months, as per Ayurveda, the rutus will change in every 2 months. There are 6 rutus. Then one rutu, quality of one rutu, one season is completely different than the other. Maybe the late winter or those things, maybe a little bit of similarity will be there, which is told that rutu sandhi is the time where you can get a lot of diseases, maybe the symptoms like flu symptoms. So the best way to train or prepare our body for that, not only we are trying, okay, I'm getting cold, I will do this, or I am getting cough, I'm doing this. Apart from all your home remedies, if you practice a good life habits, so definitely your immunity will be improved. So then there is no point in changing the weather or anything happening outside, because your body has a lot of strength to withstand everything.
Okay. We are running out of time now. We'll just have time for like 2 more questions. So the penultimate question that I have for this webinar session is from Kaifil Sheikh. He's written in that what do you recommend anything for fatty liver and high bloating after eating too much? That's a problem. And what is the best for muscle spasm and sciatica problem, which is over 5 years? Seems to be a long pending sciatica problem that he has.
Okay. See, we have very wonderful treatment for vata related problems. There are panchakarma treatments, um, where you may have to be under treatment for maybe a week or 2 weeks, uh, along with the medications. There are different kadas which can be decided after doing an nadi pariksha, looking at like reading of your pulse, and coming to a conclusion which dosha level is more or dominant. Then treatments like uh, Kati Vasti or any other Vastis, definitely there is a good treatment for sciatica. Fatty liver, if you ask me, simple thing, aloe vera is good liver tonic, which I can recommend here. If you can use the aloe vera, or you can grow aloe vera at your home or balconies, you can use it, or aloe vera tablets, all those things are readily available. It's a simple drug which I can recommend here. Other than that, you can
If
reduce
you
the
have, sorry, so if you have an aloe vera plant in the balcony at home, so then how do you just make the juice and you add it to water and you have it, or is there
you have
anything
to remove,
else?
the external the, the leaf cover, and the pulp is good, and you can apply on the face or sunburn, all those things itself.
Okay. Okay. Before we wind up, Dr. Usha Kiran, there is one last question from Anant Venkat. He wants to know how to find out whether the body is Pitta Kapha or Vata dominant, and can we find out ourselves, or could only be assessed by doctors or Ayurvedic practitioners?
If you Google it, there are so many Vata, Pitta, Kapha charts. You can find so many charts. But deeper into that, definitely you have to consult a doctor. But roughly, if you fill a chart, like there are Vata qualities, Pitta qualities, or Kapha qualities, the dominance of uh, the one or two makes your Prakriti. So then you can follow that, but it may not be accurate. Better to consult a doctor and do your nadi pariksha.
Okay, better to consult a doctor. And one last question, I think Shrija Sridharan, she wants to know, can Ayurveda help in recovering from autoimmune disorders? She sent this question twice, yes.
Yeah,
So,
there is, for example, rheumatoid arthritis. There
hmm,
is a very good line of treatment in Ayurveda.
hmm,
There are some manageable diseases which are very effectively managed by Ayurvedic Panchakarma treatments and medicines. As I told earlier, there is no symptomatic treatment. If you ask me, okay, I'm having rheumatoid arthritis, give me some medicine. Then if I tell you some medicine, it will not be correct. So the symptoms whatever a person is having, you have to see the dosha and dusha, that is the tissue imbalance, and then you have to treat accordingly. And out of 5 panchakarmas, some may be we can do some of the treatments that has to be assessed by a doctor.
That has to be
Definitely
assessed.
manage in a better way by Ayurveda.
Okay. And with that, I think we just don't have any more time left for any further questions. We've got a lot of questions where people want to know how to build their immunity, how to stay strong, how to take care of their kids and their body systems, their bowel movements, their, how to curb acidity. So, Dr. Usha Kiran, how do you see even the West is now looking at Ayurveda in a different light, and you've been practicing this you've been in this field, you've been a practitioner for almost close to 2 decades. So what is the kind of change that you've seen towards Ayurveda in terms of coverage, in terms of acceptance, in terms of it being able to hold its ground, and especially in the light of this particular health crisis that we are hit by? Just tell us quickly, what is your snapshot view?
See, I will say that there is a lot of awareness about Ayurveda. People are trying to read our own system of medicine. Somewhere they are feeling that something must be told in our ancient texts, which has not been changed even for thousands of years. So it's good to know that our own system of medicine getting a boost. Hope everyone accepts it and will be successful, and we will come out of this situation and live our normal life as before.
Okay, yes, we'll go back to live our normal life, or maybe we'll go back to a new normal. We don't know what that is. And before we sign off, thank you, viewers, and please take care of your health, stay safe, maintain social distancing, and keep yourselves hydrated enough. Summer is already here. And Dr. Usha Kiran, thank you so much for taking time off and giving us some very interesting and illuminating insights and things which we know are in our kitchen cabinets, and things, ingredients which can be put to better use. Thank you very much. Do take care of yourself, and it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.